Greetings and welcome back to Smartwatch Ticks. If you're interested in buying one of these amazing always-on fitness watches, well, this is going to help you decide. Between the two, they're really close in what they can do, but there's definitely some differences you may want to take into consideration for your situation. First of all, they're both really thin. They've got nice TPU bands, lightweight, long life, always on screen, and really good capabilities for a limited number of applications. This is the AMAZFIT Bip Lite, and this is the Wheeloop Hey 3S. Hereto referred to as Bip and 3S, all right? I don't want to say those mouthfuls anymore. Let's see where they come from and how you can get yours. Of course, first off, from Geekbuying, who's brought us both of these. The AMAZFIT Bip Lite is available with a coupon, hopefully, down in the show notes. Check there for the link that'll take you over there, and it's running right now about $65. The $130 3S, on the other hand, you can pick up again with the buying link down below and look for coupon there, here and in the initial reviews for both of these. But it's a bit more pricey of a device. It does a few more and different things, and you'll just have to decide if it's worth the money. All right, let's get into these. The first thing I want to cover is basically what they cover. I press the button, get the little unlock sign, come over here to activity, and you see we've got outdoor running, which uses GPS, treadmill, which does not, cycling, which also requires GPS, and then walking, which does not. From there, you get your activity history and your settings, and that's it. So you have those 4 activities available to you on the Bip. On the 3S now, we come into here, and we access the menu. We have your notifications and heart rate. Here we have cycle. A little too fast. Here we have running. Here we have cycling. And here we have swimming. You have 3 different sports. The running and cycling implement GPS. The swimming is a whole different beast, and it's really different. If you're a swimmer, it's this watch, obviously. If you're a treadmill walker, I guess it's this one. But between the two of running and cycling with GPS on, you're down to a good comparison. Those are the main activities. If you're going to be doing those, then these are worth watching. If you're doing something else more than this, you may want to look at the AMAZFIT Pace, or you may want to look at the Garmin Vivo Active HR. We have reviews on both of those. They use the same kind of transreflective memory LCD screens, and they do a whole lot more stuff for quite a bit more money. Let's get into one of some of the other options that you have going on here. Another thing that I wanted to cover with you on this one in the activity, when you look at the data that you collect, you get nice reports on this watch directly. You don't on this one. They both reply to the associated app and will transfer the data to the apps. And that's where you'll see major differences between these two. But on this particular watch, you can get a coat hanger, which happens to be the track that I walked or ran one day. And you get the basically the outline of the GPS track itself. That's not really useful. You don't have any measurements against it. You don't have any map that it can lay against. You just have that information. You also can get a much longer track. This is a 14.5-mile track here, cycling. And of course, all sorts of other data is associated with the track that's on the watch. However, a lot of folks not going to be really looking at what's on the watch to give them the information they need. Again, here's running where it talks about pace instead of miles per hour. So don't know if that's really a feature that you would like or not. On this one, it's really limited. Much more money, but really limited in what you see. Notifications, heart rate. This is where you set up for walking or cycling or swimming. This is a countdown a count up stopwatch, a count down stopwatch, and I gotta be so darn fast on this. They take you out immediately. Okay. Frustrating. This is where you choose your watch face, of which you have only a selection of 2 on the watch. You can put in more and replace one, or actually only replace this one, but you only have choice on the fly of picking one of 2 different watch faces. And there it just changed. And he says, you have... click that to unlock, click that to go forward, click that to go forward. You have complications when it comes to running this one. You have settings, and just those 2 settings. So you really don't have a lot of flexibility of choice in things to do on this one, whereas the Bip, well, we press it, you've got your do not disturb that you can turn on and off here. Oh, by the way, on this one, when you slide down, you've got your step count and your calories burned and miles walked. Nonetheless, on this one, when you go sideways, there's your status of today's activities. Then we just went through all of the different options for doing your stuff. You have a weather, alarm, timer, even a compass built into this, which we showed in the review is pretty accurate, and settings, which are a little more robust, where you can set the different watch faces to one of several different types that are available. That's similar to the one we have on there, and so forth. So more capabilities on the watch when you're looking at the Bip, and more variety of activity here, running, cycling, and swimming, versus running, cycling, walking, and treadmill. Let's look at the app. This is the AMAZFIT app. It's logged in, it's open, we got a complete review on it. I want to talk look and feel. You come in here, you've got your step count and everything that's happening right now. A last activity, heart rate, sleep report, simple front page. You go into your last activity, you've got all of the activities of the past week, month, or everything that you've done. And you can switch it to just runs and cycling, and I imagine if I had walking and treadmill in here, you could have those too. Didn't show that on the review, but you have that option to switch back and forth. And any of these you can go into and see a whole bunch of detail, and that's where it's going to get really fun. Activities right here you've seen, and all your settings and profile stuff are there. But let's stick with this. Now, if I switch over to the WeLoop app, this is the 3S, and this is what it looks like. Similar, your total steps against your goal with a rainbow going across that'll tell you how well you're doing. But here's something I really, really like about the 3S that you don't see on it. It's just a data collection instrument, but this puppy, from the time you tether it to the app, actually probably from the time you turn it on and first tether, even if it's untethered, and retether, it's remembering everything that you're doing. And I mean, it remembers when you take it off and take a shower. You've got every minute accounted for on this one. And it's giving you your heart rate information on the fly and the times that it's been accumulated live. And it shows you when it's low and when it's high and your average and a chart. That's nice. It also is showing you slight movement when you have it on but you're not doing anything, or brisk movement like when you're cycling, or when you have it off for a long time, 4 hours right there. There's when I slept last night. And that's everything about today, from the time I woke up until what we're doing right now. If I go to the calendar, look at this. I've got all sorts of other dates that I've accumulated data, and you actually learn how to read those circles, the green and the red and the orange and stuff, and it'll tell you how well you did against your goals during those days. See, I've just gotten started. A little bit of green right here. Very robust app tracking everything that you're doing. Your workout stuff is here. So this is all this activity here. and in the calendar, but all put together and given to you in your running, cycling, and swimming record. It automatically thought I was swimming. I probably was jumping up and down with joy 3 times, but it triggered and went in with its 6-axis gyro stuff and said I was swimming. The other ones, running and cycling records, are right here. All of them are listed with the pace, the average pace, the time, and the distance by month. And that's your full-on record with a total. Same thing for cycling. You've got all that as well. Okay, so we've got really cool information in the workout. The device is where you can do all these different things, including updating it, which we've done. Here's the different watch faces. But again, you can only put one on in addition to the default one. So you got to choose what you want to have as your app of choice. I mean, your watch face of choice. But it's real easy to put one on. Simple as this. Just sync it. He says, just sync it. There it goes. They don't take too terribly long. But you're not going to be choosing a whole bunch of watch faces on the fly. Do you really? I don't know. Maybe some people do, and this is not the custom type where you can download hundreds of them. Neither of these bands do that. But if you want to put one particular watch face on and run with that one, or the default one, this is how you would do it. This one, instead, you have a bunch of them on there, and when you go into the app, there's a few more that you can load in, and when they load in, they stay there. There's plenty of memory to hold several, let's say 20 or 30 different watch faces. Here you've got 2. Not a big deal. This is all different categories, but it's really hot is all of them. New, graphic. You don't see any more than the ones that are just at the standard stuff. And all the rest of the settings. And then there's you and all the stuff about you, including now accumulative stuff. Over the last 37 days, I've got 13% of my goals achieved. So a good overall tracking app that keeps you informed of everything, including how long you actually had the wrist off. Oh, there's your sleep information, and so forth. So between the two, the app on the Wii Loop is much, much better, I find, than what you have to look at from the Bip. But again, it's really up to you and how you use it. So let's get to the real important stuff that you need to know between these two. And for that, I'm going to show you a little video. Now, check out the heartbeat. 76 versus 100 and some odd. This is consistently high, I'm finding, in terms of the heart rate. And this is what I'm really close to being accurate. I don't know why. Maybe there's sunlight getting under, but they're basically the same. But I'm seeing that the pulse, the heartbeat, is always too high for me on the Bip. So, are you like confused still? Are you clear? Would you like a little more confusion? This is the old SMA Time. I reviewed this a long time ago, and up until recently, it's been the only one with this transflective screen on it. And it's still a really good watch, but it's very limited in what it can do. It has pretty much only one activity, a running thing that you can do. You can do the training, and you can look at the totals that you've done for the day. And other than that, you have a heart rate that you can collect, and you can look at your messages, you can go into your settings, and you can do like a stopwatch and stuff. But that's it. So I'm not going to talk about this one, but there is a review on the SMA Time if you want to look at that one. But today we are zeroing in on these two. So let's grab the Bip first. As you're contemplating exactly what to do, let me give you some measurements, help you out with all of this. Our trusty little calipers tell us that the width is 34.5. The length up to where the band starts is about 41. The thickness on this one is 9.5 millimeters on all of these. And the strap has a width of 19. And it is definitely replaceable, easily to pop out right there. Got the two diodes flashing on either side of the receptor, and it's a good one. We showed this in the review that after a while it'll time out and it'll come back on when you put your body on there looking for human blood moving through to actually do a measurement. That's the Bip. The 3S is a bit larger watch. It's measuring width of 35.5 roughly by, again, right at that curvy edge, 42 by a thickness of 11.5. And its much wider band now is 23.7, 24. And it too is easily removable. It's got two diodes on either side of a sensor in the middle as well. It uses a charging dock that the thing sits in that covers these two pins. And this guy has two charging spots right there. Wow, okay. I hope we've helped you decide on which one you like. As far as my personal choice, I would take this one. I don't swim, but I mean, they're both waterproof, but I do want to play with the cycling and the running. And the fact that the app tracks everything, including when I take it off, is inducing me, it turns out, to actually put it on. When I see it sitting there for 4.5 hours and it hasn't been on my arm, and I haven't been doing a review, and I'm eating a Twinkie. I'm eating a nice salad. I look at this and I go, you should be on my arm. The Bip is nice. It's good. The data is collected is great. Oh, all right. You want to see the convincing evidence for me? Okay. Here's a segment of a running route that I did near a playground on the 3S. Now, you get your basic overall data against the Google map. But watch this. When I hit pace, this is what happens. I've zoomed in closer. I have a graph here, and I have a bar. I have minutes from when I started across the bottom, and I actually have pace along the side. And if I grab this bar and I move it, you can actually see the pace at the point in the track live across it. You can stop at any point. There you can see I was going real slow, looped around, went back up and kept on going. That I have not seen in even the most expensive devices. And that's right here, built into the app for the 3S. What can you do on the Bip? Let's take a look. When it comes to the visual of your track on the Bip, you get this kind of an outline against the Google Maps in the background. I have a summary down here, but I don't have any slider or graph that shows me the relationship of my location to my pace. I can turn off the actual map and look at just the graph itself. Can't do that on the 3S, but I can turn it on and have the basic graph there, and that's all. No charts, just the track. So between this one and the really robust one that you can see on the 3S, that's the one I'm going to have on my arm, and that's what I choose. All right, you have been watching a This or That, which is best between the AMAZFIT Bip, which is available from Geekbuying right here in the show notes for $65 or less, or you could pick out the Wheeloop Hey 3S. That's a mouthful. For $130. There's a big price difference, and perhaps it's on sale. Check again the show notes. We'll have links to both of them down there. And hopefully this has helped you decide which always-on fitness band is perfect on your arm. Oh, yeah, sure. We'll weigh them. Go with the lightest one, right? Let's loop that in here. Pop it on here and tell you that the Bip is exactly 30 grams, 30.2. And the 3S, heavier or lighter? What you put your money on? I'm going to say it's heavier. It's a bigger band. It's a bigger watch. 38, 32. But they're both nice and thin. Good little sweet watches. Shoot, I'll wear one on each arm. I don't care. See you later. Have fun.